Yep, good.
I'll be slumping, sorry. So we went on our first date about 9 months into the pandemic. To be COVID safe, we agreed that we would go on a hike. In hindsight, I would argue that probably meeting in the middle of the woods on a cold, desolate day in January might not have qualified as safe.
Safe? I mean, do I look like a serial killer? I'm a middle-aged guy, balding, with glasses. I'm a former Boy Scout. Damn it, that does sound like a serial killer. Seriously though, we felt very safe going out for a hike with each other. And pretty soon I knew I'd met somebody truly special. What I didn't know yet was whether this was somebody I could really be myself with, make mistakes with, and then we would always be on the same team.
Likewise, I had kissed my share of frogs, and I had been in a long relationship where I was the breadwinner, the decision maker, the problem solver, all of which I didn't want to repeat again. So while I had a pretty good feeling that Stephen was the person I'd been hoping to find, and I was very sure he was not a serial killer, I too wanted to be sure he'd be a real partner, and that we would be able to go through the ups and downs of life as real equals and problem solvers together. So we agreed on some small things. We disagreed on some small things, like our peanut butter preferences.
All natural.
Skippy smooth, unnatural all the way.
And then the issue of the kitchen towels.
Separation of duties. One towel for dishes, one towel for hands.
They're basically rags, anything.
But we agreed on the really important things, like our love of family and friends, our politics, and our passion for travel.
We also agreed that we were going to spend every New Year's together in a different country. And COVID or no COVID, we were not about to let our first year go by without fulfilling that tradition. So we decided to ring in 2022 by traveling to Portugal. In some ways, it was the best time to go travel, as very few people were either dumb enough or brave enough to get on a plane at that time. And as a newfound couple, we were also feeling very brave. We usually like a really good plan, but outside of making airplane reservations, parking reservations, and a rental car reservation, we were going to make it up as we went along, feeling very confident and optimistic.
Confident and optimistic, yes, but not foolhardy. So on the day of our departure, we headed out for JFK a solid 3 hours earlier than we need to, just to be sure we'd have time for the unexpected, which happened about 40 minutes into the ride to the airport when I turned to Steve and asked a question I thought I knew the answer to. You have your passport, right?
Of course I do. It's right here in the backpack. But it wasn't in pocket 1, pocket 2, or pocket 3. Now I'm panicking. I climb in the back seat and frantically start searching through my luggage.
I decide I'd best turn the car around and head home just in case, which ended up being the right call because there at home was the passport just waiting to go on vacation with us. But I'm still feeling confident. I feel like we have plenty of time to catch our flight, and I love any excuse to drive fast.
She may be feeling confident. I'm feeling equal parts wrecked and amazed. Wrecked that I made the rookie mistake of leaving the passport at home and almost ruining our trip. Amazed that Bethany is handling it so calmly. So we're back on the way, we're almost to JFK, we're about to park at the place where I have the reservation, and we're greeted at the gate by a very large individual who says,
"You're gonna have to park somewhere else. The lot's full." Oh, you have a reservation? Yeah, the lot's full.
Okay, now we're running short on time. We don't know where any other lots are. It's dark, it's rainy. We tried 2 more lots, both full. Finally, we see one with a big yellow sign that has one last parking spot and one last shuttle right about to leave. We throw them our keys, we grab our bags, off we go. 10 minutes later, we are at the airport, finally ready to go on this trip.
We had a fabulous 10 days in Portugal, and it was the perfect start to a new tradition.
Halfway.
We were flying home and about halfway over the Atlantic when I decided, mind shifting back into real life, I should probably find the valet ticket and be sure we have that handy. So I go through my purse, go through my backpack. I'm not worried. You got the valet ticket, right?
I I go through my backpack, it's not there. But I'm relaxed, I'm confident, I'm sure that it's in our luggage. So we land at JFK, we get our luggage, now we look like a couple of cartoon characters, toiletries, laundry, everything flying out of the bag, no ticket, and we're starting to think back, okay, how did this go? Let's try and remember it, the rush to get to the airport, the full lots. Holy shit, we never got a ticket.
Not only did we not get a ticket, we didn't know the name of the parking lot where we left the car. And you may not know, but I do. There are more than 50 valet services in the general vicinity of JFK. And they all have names that sound something like Easy Park and Park and Ride. So as Steve is rifling the luggage, hoping that a valet ticket will magically appear, I get on Google Maps trying to figure out generally where we left the car, what services there were, blah. Finally think I found the place. I call, I get a very sleepy man with a very thick Eastern European accent on the phone. And we go back and forth a bit because he's certain he does not have our car. And I am very certain that he does have our car, which is a little cocky on my part given the circumstances. But I persist and he finally agrees to meet us at the parking lot. So we go to the curb, we get an Uber. 45 minutes later, we are somewhere in the heart of Queens. It is the middle of the night, and we pull into a very dark lot that is not where we left our car. There is the gentleman I had spoken to on the phone, who is very sleepy, understandably grouchy, wearing his plaid flannel pajamas under his parka. We roll down the window and say, "You were right, you don't have our car. We're very sorry." And back in the Uber we went to try again.
2 more lots, neither one the right one. Now it's 2 a.m. We've spent over $150 on an Uber so far. And at that point, I am 100% convinced that we have lost our car. It is somewhere in Queens, probably up on concrete blocks by now, all 4 wheels missing. And we're about to have a very uncomfortable call with the insurance company. More to the point, we are tired, we're exhausted, we're at our wits' end, and I'm kind of wondering what's gonna happen next. Amazingly, what happens next is we both shrug our shoulders and say, if it's not at the next lot, we'll rent a hotel room, we'll figure it out in the morning. No arguing, no yelling, no blame, just a quiet, very tired love and a feeling like we could trust each other. A moment of discovery that we really were in this thing together.
We pull out of the third wrong parking lot and go around the corner, and there is a giant yellow sign. We have somehow stumbled upon the right parking lot. Even better, we pull into the gate, and there's the car sitting exactly where we had left it 10 days ago, and it still has 4 wheels attached. So it took about 2 hours of persistence to find our car, and a small measure of good luck. But to find true trust and partnership took a lifetime of persistence, a very large suitcase full of good luck, and 2 people who worked really hard to find each other. Thank you.